Oh, just wait and see if anyone comes in. I'm going to try and sit back because I normally sit right up to the camera. I need to know if anyone can hear me anyway. Get my bits ready. Just wanted to come on and just speak about, what did I put as a title? Vibes, resonating and knowing. What shall I show you? Well, while I'm waiting to see if people come in and say hi, I just got this through the door because I was resonating with this. And because I shouted out the Netflix documentary that I was resonating with and just came across it on Netflix, wasn't even looking for anything to do with the yogi, which now resonates with this book. I thought I'd just get it as well, because I am resonating with all sorts of different stuff. Hi Tapper, good day to you as well. So this is another nighttime book for me. I've got many, but I delve into everything because I like to, you know. And I knew it was going to come today, which is a knowing, which I'm going to go into in a minute. So I got this, just came a few minutes ago, ready for chat. I pulled some cards this morning, which I'm going to go over at the end, and I wrote a few things in my book, which I want to talk about, which in 2 books actually, because I was writing a load of stuff out yesterday, like I do when and I draw obviously in my books because that's just what I do. But that's not for anybody. And I was sort of drawing this as well, like some people might go, ooh, called it the sage, and oh yes, she's got horns, you know. But I mean, hi Miss Chime. People have got to remember, whatever you call the devil is, we have both inside us, yin and yang. So, you know, and what was a sage? A wise person. Some people might call them witches or whatever, sages, you know, in all sorts of different religions and stuff. But if you do want to know, I'll just hang on. No, where's no? I had to put sage woman in. They could be both, but a wise person of spiritual or spiritual teacher, a man or a woman, basically of wisdom. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why they called witches and things like that years back, because it's like a sage. Same thing to me is people who hold wisdom, and they can be a teacher in wisdom. A bit like, you know. So we had our first show here yesterday. I'm not sure. Oh, Snow, I thought you said show. I read that wrong. Anyway, I won't look too much in chat at the minute because I know I'm on a path, but I'm being put on a certain path because there's like I said, there's a tree trunk and there's many different branches coming off it, and you can go off into different branches. So hi Symphony of Souls. So I just want to give you what I got today, and I will say a message from the universe, wherever you want to say it's from, because let me just check which book it's in. Oh, I just want to say today, Wednesday the 13th, it says Mercury sextile Saturn, Sun sextile Pluto. A good day to receive long-term plans, to review long-term plans and for talks with authority figures. That's in the 3D. But it's funny that talking, because I mentioned the other day about blue, the throat chakra, communication, and that's why I want to bring something new on my channel, which you'll see, because you'll see my journey evolve again. And it'll be coming on Fridays, maybe Mondays or Sundays. I'm not sure, but one will be a Friday about 9 o'clock. I'm not saying this Friday. I'm just saying when I get a little bit of a, what they called, a room divider here, one of them wooden things, just to cut this off so I can have pictures of what I'm bringing in with the energy I might be bringing in, because I like to draw that, and I can show you, and it might give you something. It might give you some good energy, something like that. I'm not quite sure, trying to put it together. So that'll be coming soon when I actually get a room divider. Not that I have to wait for a room divider to do that, but I'm going to be putting things more together in a bit more, I hate this word, organised communication. So we're going to have something that'll be coming every Friday at a certain time with the same sort of things in it, though it'll be changed up all the time, because I don't talk about the same thing constantly. So we get a bit used to the things that I'll be talking about, because there is new things coming on my path. And if you all resonate, you'll most likely still be here on my chat and to watch my journey evolve and go on even more, because yours is too, which goes into, just let me see which book it's in. So I can't see chat. Wasn't that one? Yes, we're saying about vibes and resonating. I'm coming across a lot of people on YouTube that I resonate with. I shout out a lot. Some I'm not going to shout out yet, because you on your journey will find them through your own resonating with a channel, or it doesn't have to be on YouTube, could be anywhere. And there was 7 in there when I looked up, and now it's gone to 8 infinity. Because it is your journey too. Oh, hang on. Maybe a validation, I don't know. I just got a ringing in the right ear. Resonating too. So I can't remember what I was watching before. People talking about alchemy again, because we know this is a lot to do with alchemy. We know light codes that are coming in, that people say energies, because it is all energy. We are transmitting and transmuting these energies, especially for Gaia. But also in my book that I write all my bits in, this is the dream I had before I start talking about something. A dream I had, I couldn't quite remember what it was, but I drew a picture of what was in part of my dream. So I'm going to share this with you. It was a bird, funnily enough, and this see this on a head, and this here. Hi to everybody, but I'm not looking at chat because I'll get distracted, and I just want to get this out. So what if I wrote here? I saw a light, this was a dream, and then it was like turned into an orb. Then it went into the floor, and I know this sounds really gross, because someone had spat on the floor. It went to the spit, and I was like, ooh. But then came out, and I don't know if that's something to do with DNA, and I guess if I think about it now, DNA is, being activated. Came out of the spit, the orb, came out as a bird. I was talking about the phoenix the other day, so it could be something to do with that rising again. And it was a bird, and it was electrical blue and red, and it was friendly and happy. And I just remembering it going, oh, wow. But it was in my hand, which is funny now I think about it now, because you should always think about things a little bit after, is the electrical and the magnetic energies, red and blue. I'd say that was a bird, and I get tingles in my hands and stuff like that, which I'm going along a path with something else. You'll see my journey evolve with that. Not talking about it yet. Was in my hand, and I was thinking, wow. But I was looking at it like, wow, this is amazing. Because when I say electrical light, it's because it was like electrical blue and electrical red, like a flame, like very, very light, and just all. And I was like, oh, this bird. Then the next minute, I can't remember what this woman was saying. A woman appeared with bobbed hair, fringe. Could have been 50s or a bit older, not sure, couldn't really tell. But all I remember is she had a well, funny enough, this cardigan thing she's got on coat, which looking at myself now, it was layered a bit like this, but it had a hood on it. And she put it up sort of like this, but then she took it down again. But she was I think she was saying, protect your crown. And I was thinking chakra. And where I drew this is because this is what I saw come out of her head. I saw like this thing come out of her head, and her heart was there. And she opened this cardigan up like that, where your heart is. And I think what I wrote down was a woman around, I put middle age, whatever, was talking to me. Just remember, she said, this is how we communicate, head and heart. So the thing on her head was a transmitter. Like I said, like your hair's like a, an antenna. And this thing just came out of a headline. I was thinking, oh my God, she's a cyborg. She's a robot. Then I was thinking, oh no, she's just saying, because it's an analogy, remember. It's a transmitter. And because she showed space here for heart space was and her head, and a transmitter on her head, and with feeling it in the heart, and we feel signature energies in the heart. So I think I've said before, when we don't know what energy is, if you can't see it, and people may say, oh, it's family, it's past family. How would you know it's not a negative entity or energy playing a game on you? Is because you feel a certain signature. Like I say, when I think my nana's around and I've had like a feeling on my cheek, it feels very soft, like my nana when she used to kiss me. Just the signature feels like my nana, so I know. So you feel that way. That's how I see it. So just saying that was in the dream the other day, and I didn't really remember much about it after that. But oh yeah, then I wrote feeling of the heart, because she had a hooded top on. She opened it a little to show her heart space, which is what I've just said, as to show her heart, your love, as this is how we communicate, not through words, transmitted through crown and heart. And you could say head and heart, they together. Oh, and then there's something else I wrote down on there that I can't remember. Also, there was a guy saying something about all the birds keep coming outside, which is funny because something happened today. Outside, this is why I should write things down. Outside your room or house. I couldn't understand him until I spoke to the woman. Oh, and then she said that. And then it says, men and women, divine speaking, watchers are here, and I do speak to them. That was in my dream. And then this morning, talking about birds, something happened. So what happened was, hi National Memorial Gardens, what happened was today, taking Finn to school, and I do forget, I was talking about the Piscean age, and I'm a Pisces, and what's been going on with Pisces, and they're known to be, like psychic abilities and this, that, the other, if you look into it. And the birthstones, mine is amethyst, but I'm on the cusp of Aquarius as well, which we're crossing over into Aquarius. It's not like bang stop, we're in Aquarius, it's the crossover. I always forget that Finn is a Pisces, and he's called Finn like a fish, which I didn't even, didn't pick that name because of that, but I always forget he is a Pisces. So we have a bit of loggerhead, me and Finn sometimes, because not in a bad way, just some things he comes out with. Kids are funny anyway, especially at his age, but some things, you think, where did you get that from? Like he said, he saw something yesterday, but then again, kids sense and see things, that just makes me laugh. Hi Rachel, hi everyone who's just come in. So this is what happened this morning. I just thought I'd share it with you because it's making total sense to me with what's going on as well. So I'm walking into nursery today. Don't forget, you get messaging spirit all the time, all around you, if you're tuned in. And these two we walk across the road, and these two pigeons, I'm not joking, fly from a house right this low, and I even went like that, and even Finn went, oh, they nearly bashed into my head. Two of them flying in sync with each other, because we have to be in sync with each other. We have to be in sync with our higher self as well. That's what we're doing as well, and we have to be in sync with with ourselves. This is why we're purging a lot of stuff. So I'll go into what I think it was. So there was two pigeons that did that. Then we went further on, and we always see cats, but these two cats were together on the wall like that. One was white and one was black and white. So I always think about it after, and I thought, something in that, something I'm feeling. So this is what I wrote down. when I start writing, it just starts flowing. So I'll tell you, I'll just read it how I saw it. So I saw, and then I'll come into chat. I saw, so we got the 2 pigeons and the 2 cats. So I see this as out there in the world, lots of this. What have I wrote down? I see this as out there in the world, lots of this. Oh, that's the black and white cat, yeah. So the 2 birds were like loggerheads, because there were a lot of people in loggerheads at the minute, and the black and white cat, there was one black and white. So I've wrote down as both meanings as, I see this as out there, meaning in the 3D world, there's lots of this versus that division, because there is black versus white, as in, you know, I'd say it was this colour, you'd say it was that, Republicans, the Democrats, it's all of that in the 3D world, it's all division. But I felt this was more on a relationship front, so I'll go into that, because we know there's a lot of division out there, but I was feeling, because I was feeling the relationship between me and Finn when he's funny, and I'm just like, my God, he's actually quite like me. And then people go on about twin flames and this, that, the relationships out there right now. And I see this going on because I know people who are either going through it, gone through it, or maybe going through it. So this was the message. You could be feeling at loggerheads with your partner, you know, at the minute. Black and white duality with each other, that was the cat coming in. With each other, you're at loggerheads with each other, maybe different what's the right word, different things that you're seeing or happening maybe inside of you are just not matching up in alignment with what's going on. And these 2 birds flying nearly crashing into me, so it's a bit crash and burn style. But remember about the phoenix I was talking about, you do come out the ashes. So I can't come into chat at the minute because I've got to get this out. As we are doing a lot of battling with ourselves right now, we all are. I don't think anyone can really say they're not. And when you try and suppress it to not let it out, you will have problems, because you're not letting the old energy release. I've said this a million times. It's to do with authenticity, your authenticity, higher self coming in rather than the ego self. You're fighting against ego and your authenticity self, higher whoever's just come in. So it's like higher energy versus lower energy. Your lower energy always wants to drag you down. Your lower energy will always, 17, always want to keep you in a stagnant relationship that maybe you know deep down inside is not really going anywhere, and you're just pleasing someone just to keep that household or whatever relationship you're in happy, when you know deep down inside it's not working. So being your true authentic self is, you need to say it's not working. You need to communicate. I was talking about the throat chakra the other day. It's about communication. Your partner's not going to know if you're not, you both might know, but you're not communicating because you're both trying to not be in your authenticity. So thoughts on this when I finish this. So it may be a relationship. It may be a relationship is not right for you. You might be coming into a new relationship. You might think, you know what? Actually, I don't think this is right. Be your true authentic self and go with your truth that's speaking to you. Like I said, throat chakra. Or it may be a relationship's coming to an end. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It might feel like it because maybe you're married or you've been with someone for a long, long time or whatever it is. This does not mean it's all bad. It may seem like it, but out of pain comes growth. Most of us know that growth comes out of pain. It always seems bad at the time, but it never is after. It's just going through the process of doing the whole thing. I've been there. I know. It could be an end to a relationship. It could just be a shake-up, because that's what's going on in 3D. There's a lot of endings coming of old ways, and there's a lot of shake-up coming because people are going to be shook with the 3D stuff that's coming, and then people are beginning to scratch their heads about. So when we say we can use the 3D, this is how we are still part of the 3D, but we bring it into this as well. We can look out there and think, right, there's a lot of cat going on. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of relationship communication breakdown because not all the truth is getting out in yourself as well. That's how we look at it and go, right, what's going on with inside me? So, you know, if anyone gets what I'm saying. We need a shake up sometime to shake the energy up in the thank you, Huey. In your relationship. It might not mean your relationship's ending. Maybe you just need to communicate to each other properly about what it is that you want to do. Maybe there's something that in your relationship you do that you don't want to do anymore, like maybe somewhere where you go, or like maybe you're visiting family and because they're quite negative, you just want to sort of drop it for a bit. It could be anything. I'm not saying it's a relationship breakdown, but in cases it could be the end of something. It could just be a shake up. It could just be you're not communicating. It could be you who's not communicating properly. You could be being selfish with a lot of things. You could be the one that's always taking. It's a union. It's a communion. It's communication. It's a marriage. It's about both of you. It's not about one. Though saying you must not give all yourself. It's balance. Everything's balanced. This is what we've talked about before. If you're the one who's always taking, if you're the one always giving, it's give and take. So if you're in a relationship where you think you're giving all the time just to keep that person happy, there's something not right there. It's not in balance. You need to speak up and talk your truth. If that person can't see that, especially if they say they love you, then what is that relationship about? Are they just with you because of what you can give them? You know, I'm sorry, you get gold diggers out there, you get everything. Are they just in a relationship because they're used to getting off you? One of you turn around and say no, and the next minute they're like, oh my God. It's like, well, that person needs to look at themselves. Why are they in a relationship for? What material things or whatever it is? So it could be an end. It could be a shake-up. It could just be that you both need to communicate to each other. So I'll just finish this off and I'll come in chat because it's not a big long chat. The next thing I put is that came out from this was, or it's you are growing apart because one of you has steps on your spiritual awakening, let's say, path, and the energy of your partner may not be aligning anymore. I'm seeing this happen a lot, and that means you want to progress and you want to talk about things, and maybe you want to go and do things and meet people, and your partner's just like, I think you're mad. Oh God, you're crazy. What have you turned? Are you having a midlife crisis? It's like, no, I've just woke up to a few things that, you know, not the material world isn't everything, as a lot of us are beginning to see. So, might seem like a bad thing in the end of the world to some, but when you get over that bit of the chaos, which is also happening in the 3D, you can see the light clearer, and you will start filling your cup up again because you've been a bit depleted. You're not supposed to deplete your own energy. You will deplete your energy if you're constantly giving it. And that's two friends, family, or relationship. It works both ways. You don't just do something to keep them people happy constantly. What are you doing for yourself? I'm shouting this out all the time. To love yourself is to let go so you can flow, or it's a sign you need to communicate more to each other, like I just said. Some people give to their partner so much they deplete their own energies. This is not a healthy, loving relationship. It's not. A lot of people in relationships, men and women, get very distracted off mainstream media, what celebrities are doing, money, this, I've got to have this, I've got to have that, in the keeping up the Joneses, and think that's how a relationship is. No, it's not. That is not a proper relationship in union. This is not a healthy relationship. A good communication, communion, union, togetherness, not our taking all, you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I've drawn a little hermit crab. This is how I get things in. A hermit crab and its shell. Now, the little hermit crab, that some of us are, because I'm a little hermit. You can be a hermit and still be with someone. But it's that thing, if you've been in your little shell, and all of a sudden, you've had a look around, you know, in the dark, you've been down the rabbit holes, you're going on your journey, and all of a sudden you go, you know what? I'm shining my light. You come out of your shell, because that shell's got too small, and you're growing. Because if you're limited, you're not going to grow. You're just going to sit in your shell and hide away from the world and just not take all sorts of different things coming from all sorts of different areas. Like I just said, I just got this book. felt called to get it because I watched that documentary on Netflix, which, you know, I got called on the internet, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. If you grow, hermit crabs grow and they need new houses, and they have to grow and they need to find a new shell, a bit of a bigger one. So if you can't grow within your home, in your space, if anyone gets what I'm saying, in the relationship term, then it's going to break down, really, isn't it? Because it's put the hermit crab outgrown his home, what he thought, you know, with his thoughts and things, finding a new home, you know, his new shell. He's got to find a new home. I don't mean you've got to go out and find a new home. I'm just saying it's an allogram, is it? Analogy. I can never say that word. We outgrow ourselves, and some people are in relationships where the other person just wants to stay inside the bubble, the shell. They don't want to, because a lot of them are in fear. You know, you might be in a relationship where if you shine your light a little bit, they might start looking. So I'm not saying to anyone you need to split up with your partner. I'm just saying that could be what's going on, because I'm seeing a lot of it going on. Yeah, the book is, yeah, got it off eBay. Autobiography of a Yogi. I won't even try and say the name because I probably can't. And I can't remember what the word is because I'm probably going to butcher it. But in India, when you go to a Rashim, is it? Can't even say it, which is in the documentary. That's like a sacred place where people go, blah, 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 blah. You should all have a sacred place. It doesn't mean you have to go to India to go to a sacred place. You can have your own sacred, you know, meditating place as well, which reminds me, that's why these are going to be round. It's getting bigger, but it's going to be a lot bigger. Because when I meditate, as I'm getting into it, I like to imagine a bubble of pure white light. So because it's circular as well, that's quite nice as well. Yes, mine are mostly Celtic descent. Yeah, Catherine from. I've just connected with someone from Scotland, which I just thought, I'm not going to tell you because it's not going to tell you yet because a lovely lady. I'm just like, I'm watching it, like getting sent to different paths because I'm tuning into, I think, the knowing of what I'm supposed to be in, which I think you're just going to see it unravel. I'm not going to even let you know. I'm just going to let it, I'm just going to flow. So that was that. And then, because don't forget, I've had people saying to me on here, for the daydream, I'm at the TV program, we bring my telly back in my living room and only use it when she's on. Shall I send my partner a link to this video? Wow, it's up to you. Why is she not awake? Well, or he, well, you know, I don't know. You could do. Is she going to resonate? It's only for people if you resonate. And talking about resonating, people have a problem with resonating on the internet. I had someone who used to talk to me who was going, well, it's the algorithms. It's because you put this thing in. Well, it's not just the algorithms. Some things pop up because spirit puts it there for you. And I can see that because some of the things I follow, like, where did that come from? But sometimes when I ask out loud, it comes in exactly. Something happened today and someone mentioned something. There was a few people and they mentioned a blue butterfly. So just something I was like, that was in one chat with a load of people. And I think it was Prime Disclosures, actually. I was like, wow, oh my God. Oh, came across someone else from that channel that I've commented on and was like, wow, seen this, seen that. I'm not going to tell you everything because it's your journey to find out what you're here to do. We're all here to give service, to help people. What is it? There's many different paths. That's how I see it anyway. So, and like I said, my channel is going to be changing and it is going to be becoming a little bit organised, even though I hate that word, with maybe twice a week with a muggle chat, which is like a normal chat, and then a Friday will be like a good vibing chat with different things of my artwork and chats on positivity. It'll all be on positivity and spiritual and paranormal and all sorts of different things, you know, and all this sort of stuff. But then Muggly Mondays, I don't know, it could be Muggly Mondays, could just be the norm, the 3D. Like, what's going on over there? We'll check that on a Friday because then we're going in, we'll bridge it together because that's what we are. We are the bridge to both realms. That's how I see it. And I'm still laughing at well, not laughing at it. I'm still just, you know, when I did this coat, it's not finished, but you know, when I did this, and it was still the whole thing with this going on, like woman, tree, Gaia, whatever, with the acorns in, because my Celtic shield's got 7 acorns. I'm just saying, it just makes me laugh now when I think about it. And trees are like one of the biggest organisms, you know, on the realm. They're all connected like a network, like I was just saying with the resonating. The internet, and I've noticed when I put this up, they were asking if kids can watch this or not. They're trying to bring things on now because they're trying to switch us down, because apparently there's something supposed to be coming on YouTube in December where they're gonna they're watching about conspiracy things and that, because they want to pull it down. I can't think why, you know, because certain things are coming out. They don't want people talking about it. Why do they not want people talking about it, I wonder? Because it's the truth. Why are they trying to stop the truth? Under a lot of videos now, you'll notice Q videos and things that are mentioning certain names and this, that, and the other. All sorts of truthing communities out there. They're putting underneath, this QAnon is a conspiracy theory by WikiLeaks, by whatever it's called. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're starting to write that under people's videos now, are we? To make the muggles think it's a load of silliness. Oh, okay. Watching you. So, yeah, it's the lungs of the planet. So, I just want to say, because I've got some cards to show you, we have a quantum field out there. Call it the Akashic Records, call it this, call it that, a field of, you know, everything, and a bit of David Icke, you know what he says, everything and everything that was and always will be, or whatever it is. But we also have a 3D one here, which is called the internet. So this is like the QNet, the Q, you know, the quantum computer. We've got this one, and we've got an organic one as well. So we can use them both. We've got to use them both to communicate. Throat chakra. So that was that. Quickly, I just want to show you the cards that came out. One of them, 2 of them I, you know, looked at myself intuitively, and the other one I just want to read out the book, because I thought we'll see what the book says about it. So let me show you what came out this morning. Hi, Memory Bubble. I'll come in chat in a minute when I've read these. I'm just trying to get all this out. So, no, it wasn't that. Right, they're in the book. So these 3 cards. So remember we had this one the other day, which is obviously still here because it is still here, was the tiger. I'd say the tigeress. There's a lot to do with divine feminine energy coming in at the minute. And it was the 10 of scrolls. But I was seeing it as, we felt a bit like the hermit crab. Encased, imprisoned. We have been imprisoned by a long time by a lot of things that have been keeping us imprisoned. Saying about scrolls, words, things that are written down, documents, birth certificates, all sorts of different things that keep us locked down. But the purple behind it is very spiritual anyway. But like the tigeress, she's very you know, rah. We are breaking free from that, because there is a blue butterfly in the background. But we talked about this before. We feel encaged sometimes. But remember, you keep poking that tigeress, and I'll say as well, and she will bite back. I know she is biting back. So just want to say that. This one came out. I don't always read it as what the book says, because I just intuitively go with it. If we look at this, I see a lady, divine, Mother Earth, because it's all green. She sat with water behind her back. Water's a lot more than we know. But she's also, it's a 7 of stones. She's also got the archway round her, because to me that's being in your sacred space. She's also got a flute, because she's getting in tune with nature and her, you know, higher self, I would say. Because this water sort of runs off up there, but to me it looks like it's going up. And you've got your little protective space over you, because you do have to have a protective space over you, especially with all sorts of energies coming in. And 7 I see is like the 7 rays, 7 realms, 7, you know, people say the rainbow light and all that. But she is sat, and she is in contemplation. You could even say she's meditating, because a lot of us are doing that at the minute as well. But she's getting in tune with her, I'd say, all the senses, you know. That's how I see it as well, with Gaia. And there's that water again, blue. And I still see that as communication. So communications are coming in. And then there was this little one, because that's how they came out. It was a purple, this one, and then we got the 4 of spirals, which, yes, there's a house. And funnily enough, there's a little witch's broom there. And they used to say the witch's broom was a communication. If it was outside in a certain way, it meant the witch is in, the wise woman is in, or she's out. They used to keep the doors unlocked in them days because you didn't have people coming in, because, you know, so spiral of life. It's a bit dark and the moon's out, but at the end of the day, we all go within ourselves, don't we? We like to go in with our home, and that goes in with the hermit crab before. But I will read out what this says. It has got a spiral of the house. And then I'll come into chat. What did I say it was? Where have you gone? There it is. So I shall come in a minute. What's Matthew saying? Try to be every chance single dad of 2 little ones. I follow up with lava plume. Does that say plumes to the stars above? And visitors of all sorts, which is like, oh, thank you. We're all finding each other through different channels. I just think it's amaze balls at the minute. That's all I can say. Orbs, you know, we got orbs coming in. You won't be able to see them at the minute because the lighting's not, you know, it has to be a little bit dark. That's why they're not everything in the dark is evil, you know, just saying. So let me just read this one out. Yeah, they definitely can be communicated with, because I communicate with them. If I ask them to flash, they flash. If I have them, just saying. So yeah, you have to, you know, try stuff. 4 of spirals. Let's see what this says, because it says emerging energy. Now, all I've been talking about is energy. So I'm just going to read this out. Hi, Jane. The emerging energy of the 4 of spirals suggests it's time for peaceful solitude and introspection, is it? Which it will be, because it's the house, solitude in your house. We're doing a lot of thinking, and we're doing a lot of looking back at what's happened this year and what's about to come. But we only know sometimes. You'd think, oh yeah, I only know now. No, you normally only know is when you look back. I know more now from looking back at my life, thinking, oh my God, that's why this, that, and the other happened. This heralds an opportunity to regather and recharge by changing your perceptive. And this perceptive, this is what I've said. It's all about perceptions. It's all about recharging. It's all about rewiring this to this, and maybe letting things go from the past that don't serve you anymore, because this world is not what we've been taught it is, and we're beginning to realize there's different things out there and energies and all sorts. So with that, you have to break free, you have to let the change come, and you have to let new energies in, and maybe look into things you weren't really looking into before. Harvest home. As the broom loudly suggests, clearly the card says you need to sweep something away. Well, isn't that what we've been talking about? You need to, you know, sweep out the old energies from your house. That's what the wise women used to do, aka witches. They used the broom to sweep out, you know, all the dirt from the house and bad energies. So have a clean up in your house. I've got to do another sort of, I won't call it spring clean, winter clean, because I have a lot of crafting stuff about, and it needs to be put away and sorted out. I need to get that organized, because it gets organized, then it gets reorganized. Because if you're a crafter or an artist, you'll know you make a mess. You can't not really make a mess when you're doing craft. So you know, and it says the 4 of spirals is also about relaxing. Well, I've talked about that. If you're feeling some strong energies coming, you're like, oh, I don't want to, and it's that time of year as well. You know, we talked about the hermit crab. We talked about, you know, I've been telling people, yeah, you need to chill out, about relaxing to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Life's great rewards. Visualize yourself observing a new world. Well, I'm observing a new world of possibilities from the upper floor picture window. It's a new season and a fresh challenge is on the horizon. And we'll be going into a new year, and we all want this new world, this new way, not the new world order, a new world and a new earth and a new way. So you've got to look at things different. What we looked at way back, this is what I just said about relationships. You may be with a partner who totally can't see or come to terms with other perceptions that people have, that, you know, it's not all bad. We have the 3D with what's going on all over the world, Brexit here in America with the Democrat and all, but that's because that's what's going on within ourselves as well. So there has to be change, and people are scared of change. They're scared of changing relationships, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it is. But when you look back after, a little bit after, you're like, oh, I see why this needed to change. I couldn't have done this, this, and this, and this. I know with my relationship in the past, if it hadn't have happened the way it happened, I wouldn't have been stepping back onto the awakened path, because I nearly got on it a few years ago and then I got distracted. So nothing's been distracting me. 111. Numbers speak to you as well. I know now that 17, where the 17 is in the chat right now, it'll probably change when I say it. Certain numbers of me are validating my path. And I also saw, it was really funny, in the street yesterday, I was looking at the colour blue, like a light blue throat chakra, and the bins were out, and one of them was blue, and the only blue bin that was out on the path, like someone had pulled it right out, you know, the others were just dotted about, was a blue bin with a number 17 on it. So I just thought, yeah, guidance, you know, you're on the right, following the right alignment. That's all I can say. But that's my experience. Some of you may be having that experience. Some of you may not. Some of you might not be looking for the messages that are dotted about all around. That's why I said it's very important, if you're sort of following what I'm saying, to have a book, a journal to write stuff down, because it might match up a few days later, a week later, and you can look back and think, oh, makes total sense now. Makes total sense to me. Makes total sense with the reading I got off Psychic Bob the other day with something in Scotland that's just happened, and that's not, he says about relationship, but that could be a relationship with a friend or something, but I've just come across someone who I thought, haha, I need some knowledge of this person. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I believe there's some things I will come and share, and there's some things I won't, because it's my path, and I don't want to put you onto places where maybe, you know, I always say go and look, resonate if you resonate, but we all have a path, and I believe we all have it was 111 before, it's not now. We all have gifts. Some have all the gifts, some have a couple, some have one, and we're all sort of seeking, and these gifts come, and it's if you tune into it and think, I feel like I'm being pushed, no, pushed is the wrong word, I shouldn't say that, guided to do that, which I do think, hang on a minute, something's just come. Which makes me laugh, because that was the postman going, being guided, you know, letting the guide in, and you get gifts. Came in at the right time. This was just, and it's not brand new. I hardly ever buy anything brand new, it just doesn't bother me. I was after a cardigan. It took so long to come, you'd think it was coming from Timbuktu, and it wasn't. And it was just a woolly hoodie, a big one, because it's getting a bit cold, and it's to put under one of my coats that is waterproof, but it's not particularly that warm, you know. It's not a thick coat, but I like it, and I thought if I could just get like a fleecy sort of thick cardigan, I put it under, then, you know. Oh, by the way, when Psychic Bob said I had a lot of pink energy around me, like healing and that, just saying, put me in a pink hair. Yeah, so how's everyone else feeling? What did you think about what I've just said? If you were in at the beginning about, You know, there's a lot of relationship breakdown. Now that could be at work as well. It doesn't just mean our relationship as in your partner, your wife, your husband, whatever. But I do see it very much like, and that's the whole thing that we are going on, by the way. The pilgrim. We're all on a journey. Remember, so there's a llama, my llama bags that I've done. And it's a lady as well because of divine energies coming in. And I'm being called by the divine energy. So there'll be a lot of things I'll be bringing to this channel that are a bit more feminine, and it doesn't mean the men aren't welcome. It's obviously I'm a woman and I'm going to be talking about some of the things, so obviously that doesn't mean men aren't allowed in. That just means hello. Because I've said this before and I thought no, it's calling me. Oh, there's some exercises that I've just been like, oh God, I can't do it anymore. It just seems so just not me, though it was before. And I've got my hooping, so I love that, wherever my hoops are. Where are my hoops? So I'm doing that, but I think I'm doing that alongside with a bit of you are warm, belly dancing. Not that I'm going to be sharing that with you, but I just find it very feminine, and I'm feeling very feminine energies. And people I'm watching are like, do you know what, women, we're ace. I mean, the energy we hold. And also I want to share, if you go over to my community page, I did put something up. If you've not seen this, I mean, I'm just going to try and show you a bit of it. I mean, I'd love to go and see this. I just think it's amazing. Creation is what we are, and that's why we love to create. And this is like, kids love this, and it's a thing that you just sit there and think, oh my God, like, wow, that is just beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, it is a masculine and feminine balance we need. That's what I was saying before at the beginning. It is about balancing relationships. But what I'm saying is that the feminine divine is coming back because it had been suppressed. And what was coming out in the 3D wasn't proper feminine divine. That was just like, let's mess it up, if you get what I'm saying. This, I just came across this and shared it because it's beautiful, and I was just in awe when I watched it. Let me just see if I can find it. It's a show that's on called Shay Young or something. I probably got it wrong, but I was just like, wow, that is beautiful. Like this. Hang on. What does it take to be I saw something in this. Looks a bit like a realm. It's not a globe anyway, is it? There's 7 women on there, I counted. I was like, oh, 7, what? 7 rays of light? Golden light. Tell you what, if you go to my community page, you'll find it. But that was beautiful. That was what's it called? Oh, it's called. There's a show on called. And I wrote it down, and now I can't remember it. Something like Shay Yun or Shay Yun. It comes up on a lot of YouTube videos. The dancers like Chinese. I'm like, oh my God, it's absolutely like, I would sit there at that show going, wow, because it is divine. It's beautiful. Oh my God, the dancers in it are superb. The colors, everything, the music, you know, it speaks to your soul. I think I put on my community page. Let me go over to it. You know, like, wow. Your home looks very beautiful. Thank you. Well, your home should be with things that you like, you know, your little castle. And then it gives you good energies. Yeah, but it spoke to my soul, got the vibe, 7 rays of light, beautiful, divine creativity. Creativity is our divine right. But if you go over there, you'll see what video it is, because I can't even say that. So if you go on my community page, you'll find that. What's going on in chat? I don't know what's going on with First Munch there. I don't really know what you're saying, but I've just been watching someone, and I think the same thing is when you're bringing in energies, you also must protect yourself anyway. And even if that's subconsciously just saying, and I do it anyway, I've always done it, I've thought it, you know, like only positive, loving energy, no negative energy, because you can invite them in, but it's a bit like that vampire thing. They put a lot of stuff on films that just scare you, but you can invite them in, but you're not like calling them in, sort of like, oh, what's the word? Conjuring them in, because a woman that I've just watched said, you know, if there was somewhere else like a spirit being that was helping someone else, and you've, you know, demanded them to come in, they could have been doing some good for someone else. They could have actually been saving somebody from something. If anyone gets what I'm saying, if you're on the same role with that, I am. So you're just inviting whoever's there to help, you know, or relay a message or whatever, but you do it in love and, you know, love and light. You don't want any negative energies around you. Rainbow nodes make me feel the feminine. Yeah. I still don't know what you're going on about, First Munch. Trolling. I'm not talking about trolling on here, even though I get that as well. You just got to let them go. I'm talking about spirit. I'm talking about the energies. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Yeah, and people record them as well, because they do come through technology, because if everything's energy, they will use energy and forms of energy, which is technology, frequencies, currents, to speak. And that's why I said you've got people like Huff Paranormal and people like that. Oh, he has a troll. Oh, yeah. You get trolls. You get them in the physical and non-physical. Do you know what I mean? If you let them in, if you're letting them in, you've got to protect yourself. That's why I've always said you've got to put boundaries up, even from the veil side. You've got to put boundaries up. You can't just go into something not knowing. And I've always just thought, you know, bringing in love and light. That's why they say sage areas. People do certain different things. Only positive and love, and you're inviting positive energies in, not negative. You know, you're not. If you just sort of telling something to come in and you don't know what energy is, and you haven't really asked, you're just like, yeah, can all the energies come in? No, what all energies, what all entities even. So be careful. And that's the same in the 3D. Like I said, it's exactly the same in 3D. You know, I've done it before, and then you find out people are not what you think sometimes. So that's why I said you've got to put boundaries up. People think, don't you, by putting boundaries up is something bad. It's like, well, no, you have got to put certain boundaries up. Or people will take the energy. That's why they call them energy vampires. They will. Also, a woman today said, which I think is brilliant, because I do see that when you start shining your light, it not only does everybody see it, it also goes up into the cosmos. So these, you know, because I'm into all this anyway, these entities, energies, positive, loving energies, entities, whatever you want to call them, will see that light, because you are like a beacon. But that side will also see it as well. So it's like you're putting a big, you know, a bit like Batman and all that, you know, when he gets his big Batman thing and he shines it up, well, everyone can see it, can't they? So not just the good can see it, you won't put a label on it, the bad can see it. So for those entities that like to mess about, so they're going to see it as well. So you've got to like put a sort of bit of a protection over yourself, as to say, no, you aren't allowed in. That's why they say in the vampire films, are you going to invite me in? I can't come in unless you invite me. No, I'll invite you, but I'm only inviting good, positive, loving energies, not nothing else, because you do actually have power that side try and make out that we don't, that they're more powerful. No, we do have power as well. And we are allowed to put spiritual boundaries up as well, if that's what you want to call it. I don't even know what the right word is. So if anyone gets what I'm saying, you don't have to be resonating with this at all. You might be thinking, oh, she's gone off on La La Land again. But just saying, the more good, the more the bad it seems rising. I think there is at the minute, because if you look out in the 3D world with all the crap that's going on at the minute, it's all, yeah. That's what I said at the beginning of the video. There's a lot of dueling, and we're dueling with ourselves within. So we've got the heavenly realms dueling up there, you know, and then that comes down, doesn't it? It comes down to the physical. So we're all dueling down here because there's a change coming, and people don't like change. Just saying. Yeah, first munch. That's why Tapper's put stuff out. That's why I'm talking about what I talk about. That's why I'm getting footage. You've got Memory Bubble who's got footage. You've got loads of people who've got footage of me mum. I'll have to ring her back in a minute. Footage of different energies of things that are going on, that people poo-hoo, the doubters, the trolls, whoever they are. People all over the world are bringing in these new ways, these new understandings, things that have always been there. Now we're catching them with the aid of technology, because that's helping us as well. Because I don't think we actually didn't come from technology; we came from technology. So it's to poo-hoo the poo-hooers, if you want to say. And the more we share, the more gets out. That's why people are called light workers, light showers, healers, whatever, this, that, and the other. All these truthing communities are coming together. And if you've noticed, if you watch a few different communities, there's many different communities. There's ones that are on the shape of the earth. That's ones that are into cosmic. There's ones that are into all sorts of different things. All really talking about the same thing. If you look and listen, if you watch a lot of people all connecting together, that unity consciousness, we're all talking basically about the same thing. So the more we share, people say, oh, you shouldn't share it, you shouldn't share. Yes, you should. That's what they didn't want us doing. That's why they had book burnings and this, that, and the other years back, because that's why they're putting hate speech, everything's hate speech, free speech. That's why YouTube's about to, in December, apparently shut down on certain things you're not allowed to talk about now. Conspiracy theories of what's going on with Epstein and all that. Apparently coming up on the 10th of December, you've got to agree to it on YouTube, apparently. Why is that then? Why can't we not speak? Because you don't want people to know. So you have to meme everything, because then the algorithms can't pick up. But that's how they play the game, but we can play the game as well. You know? And the thing is, I watched a film the other day called Pixels, and it was a film Finn was watching, and I just want to say, that was really good. Yeah. That's how they came to play the game. Well, we win the game at the end of the day because we made the game. Just saying. And something else was said in that film as well. They said something about, you know, I think of pixels, I think of atoms, I think of orbs. Everything's made out of little, you know, energy, cells, atoms, or whatever you call it. Just saying. So Pixels, the kids film, I was like, the guy in it was actually wearing orange. I think of, like, you know, he was pretty chilled and calmed in it. But what was he in Pixels, the guy that saved the world? He wasn't a big hero at the beginning. He was a guy who was a bit of a nerd. You know, the ones that they call crazy, the nerds, us lot that they called crazy. And he was used to play Pac-Man, you know, the old arcade games from back in the day, like us lot back in the day. Because we've got the snowflake generation now. Not all the generations are snowflakes, but if you get what I'm saying. And they won in the end, because at the end, he was going on about patterns in the game, because there are a lot of patterns. And that's why I said we're rejigging the patterns and we're reprogramming. At the end of it, sorry to ruin it, he wasn't very good at Donkey Kong. But they said something about the patterns. He was like, yeah, but the patterns, I always win because of the patterns. He went, it's got no pattern. You don't have to go with the pattern. So we started not going with the old patterns. Guess what? They won the game. Just saying. We win it because we made it. So, Yeah, but they do fly towards me. If you're talking about orbs, yeah, they do. Yeah, I'm sort of on the wavelength of I'm meant to be doing something with it all. And I think you're just going to see it evolve on my channel. Like I said, new things are coming in channel. I'm just going with the flow of what I think I should be doing. Not that I really know, but I'm just going with the flow, and I'm coming across stuff. I'm like, yeah, that matches up, that aligns. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. So I'm just following it, picking up the breadcrumbs. I'm just following it. Yeah, the thing is, it's about, yeah, it is about going less materialistic. But remember, we're still going to be residing in the materialistic world. It just means you can have nice things, but it just means we're not consuming as much as we did. We're not just buying things and doing stuff just because an advert was shoved in your face, because that's why Google, Facebook and all that, you know, you'll look at something, think about something, next minute there's an advertisement on Facebook or whatever, because they're looking at what you're looking at. They know what you buy. So that's why they throw it out there. So yeah, exciting times ahead, very exciting times ahead. So it's not that thing of we're not residing here. Some people think we're flying off. So I don't know what the only thing I do know, we're still residing here, but we're bringing both worlds together. We're the bridge. So we can bridge the two. It's balance. This world, as we knew it, is being out of whack. It's scales, Aquarius. Well, that's that Libra, sorry, the water. But you know what I mean? It's all about balance. It's got to be in balance. And we, the people, are going to be the bridge for that. And there's going to be some crazy things coming up, you know, and the muggles are going to start waking up to this crazy world we live in. If you get called crazy, doolally, stupid, off your head, a nerd, oh God, I think they've gone on a midlife crisis, whatever it is that they call us, that's actually, be grateful, because that means you're awake. That means you're not a muggle, and I don't even like saying the word muggle, but hence Harry Potter, the ones who are asleep and the ones who aren't. Even though there's a lot of other things, I'm not saying we know everything that are going to be happening, but what I do know is this world is not what we've been taught it is. Fact. Just saying. And by the way, not all the symbols out there are bad. Not all the Masons out there are bad. Not all them secret societies are bad. It's just people got in them places to bring darkness in at the top. I watch a lot of occult things. I like occult things. It's what's hidden. Some people don't like looking at it, but it's all about your intentions at the end of the day. As I've said before, you can know about hidden, you know, stuff, energies and things that you can bring in, and you've got to be careful. But are you using a positive side of it for humanity, yourself, but with humanity, because a lot of it is to do with others. We want it for everyone else. Or are you honing some sort of other energy in that you're not using for the good? You might be using it more and more for you know, me, and not bringing it in with it, because there is a thing like karma out there, and you know, you've got to be careful. So I'm just saying. So meditation's going great. I just said, if I don't know if you were in before, I had a meditation and a picture came up, so I drew it out, and it was just before I go, you'll have to go back to the beginning, I'm going in a minute. It was oh, and by the way, when I say see blue, it is a bit like the cosmic eyes. That's the blue that was, you know, when I'm meditating. And where's the picture? There is the picture. You'll have to go back to the beginning because I've actually spoke about it. She had like a thing on her head, this woman in a dream. No, sorry, no, it wasn't. Was it a dream or was it when I was meditating? No, that was a dream. Sorry. That was a dream that came with the woman with the thing coming out of the head, which was a transmitter. And then we've got the heart, you know, transmitting, and you'll have to go back to the beginning. And the meditating, yeah, I'm getting into it slowly. I am getting into it. That's why I'm making the mats, and I'll be making the mats for anyone who may want one. But yeah, the meditation, that's where I got the blue phoenix from the other day. That blue phoenix came in. It was like energy, but I could see her face. It was very pretty. It was a woman energy as well. And that word always comes up, Palladians. Just saying, oh, and I lost my crystal, but I found this one again, because this was the one I got ages ago that I have worn, and it's that blue, and it is turquoise, which funny enough was my nana's favorite color, and it is blue, like I said, throat chakra. So I may have lost the other one, but I've found this one, and it's secure on here this time. So just saying. Yeah, it is much better being nice at first munch. It is. You get a lot more out of, not that we're doing it to get a lot more out of being nice, but it's just a better vibe. It's just a nicer vibe to be on. So yeah, don't think sometimes when you're resonating with certain channels, you're resonating there for a reason, and you've been sent there to either subconsciously or consciously get information from it. So I'm going to go because I've got a bit of stuff to do. Yeah, like I said, obviously I'm doing round beautiful meditating mats that take me quite a bit of time, got my energy on it, my vibe and stuff. Different colors, recycled. I'm doing circles because, and they roll up, and doing circles because obviously you can imagine an energy bubble around you, pure white light when you're meditating. So you'll have to let me know, because I'm doing some colorful ones like this. They'll all be different. It's not, I'm not like doing, can you do this color? It's just what comes. I'm going to be doing some ones a bit more masculine, you know, a bit of color, but a bit of, you know, a bit more masculine. And when I've done them, because they will roll up, but this has got to be a lot bigger than this, I'll come and show you. So I'm also going to be doing a sort of Dolly's craft sort of looking, what would you call it, live shop, just live look at what I've been doing in case anyone wants to, you know, purchase, I don't know. But also I think when I'm showing you pictures and stuff like that, it might give you a vibe off it as well. And someone kindly, I can't remember who it was in chat, told me about a place where I can get my pictures printed off onto canvas, and I thought she meant me doing, but they send it out to you. So I may, when I get round to it, print the blue angel off, which is here, I've not put it back on the wall, on for me to see how it comes out, and then I'll let you know. And if I think it's come out well on the canvas, then it's up to you, innit? So you know, this one, because I do love it, and again it's that blue thing again, so what can I say? And I did that months ago or last year, I don't even know when I did it. Has it got the date on it? I don't even know, but I know a lot of people like it, and I wouldn't mind that in a quite big, you know, bigger picture canvas style. So just saying. Thank you for your time, love and peace and happiness be with you all, and you too, Matthew. So I'm going to go, and if you wanted to know what my message was this morning, go back to the beginning of the chat and it's all there. I just wanted to come on because I felt like it. Dolly, when did you last eat a Kinder Egg chocolate? I don't know. My son likes them. I've got to go and get him one today, actually. But I haven't. Hang on a minute. I have a feeling. I've just seen your other message. Do I believe we have auras? Of course we do. I've seen mine. Of course we have auras. It's your energy, your etheric body as well, whatever you want to say it is. But of course I do. Nice. I'll watch them again. So I'll catch you later. It's I'm supposed to be doing something tomorrow. You know what it is. So we'll see. And then if it happens, then obviously, which it will, I'll let you know. But I'm looking forward to that. So I've got to get a decent night kit tonight. And then I should be seeing you on Friday, because I'm going to start coming twice a week with a bit more organisation, just because the stuff I need to get done. And then you'll know the sort of things I'll be talking about, what time I'm on. So you won't really need a notification, because you'll know it'll be the same every week, unless I pop up in the week just to throw something out there. But I'm going to try and keep it to the days, because it's easier for me. And I hate being organised, but yes, there's that whole thing of the throat chakra and communication. So I know I need to get it together a little bit more to communicate that out a little bit better. And then at least you all know where I am, and they know where I am at a certain time of day or night or whatever it is. Dolly Tapper and all you beauts, have a lovely day. You have a lovely day as well, Floridora, and everybody in chat. Newbies as well. Don't be afraid of coming in chat. Don't be in fear. They're all lovely. Yes, we get a few bridge dwellers under the bridge, but that's only because they can see and sense the light. But we say you're not allowed in. And even if they do come over, sometimes they do get like codes because in their subconscious, that's like I said, when you resonate with the channel, you're resonating for a reason, although you know it to be true. So yeah, it is a fun channel. I talk about all sorts, and I might even talk about things you don't like Q and Trump and stuff like that. But sorry, I am on that Q train. But like I said, that's the 3D being brought up because it has to be. I think somebody knows there had to be a change. I think someone might be in communication with something, actually. If you think of it like that, what does Q stand for? Quantum field. Some people say quantum computer. There's two. We're working in both. We're on the quantum computer right now. Found they spy on people, but there's one up there, so we're the bridge between both. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, it was funny when it got popped, when someone popped it, as in they didn't want it up because we like him, actually. But that's all the 3D side, all being in Discord and hate and this versus that and that versus that, when all it is really the chaos coming out, getting ready for yeah, it was Amy. Yeah. And someone's done it in America just recently, but they slashed it all up so they couldn't blow it back up, which I thought was hilarious. Dolly, hello, beautiful lady. Trump 2020. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Brilliant. Yeah, 2020. 2020 vision. Yep. The muggles are going to start really seeing what's going on. That's all I'm saying. All that side is more than people know. It's not even to do with politics. It's just the whole upheaval of the old guard. That's all I'm saying. Shouted it out for ages. That's why I don't get too enthralled in it anymore, because I know what's going on. I trust the plan. Don't forget, Palladian guidance is on the bottom of the key plan. Just shouting that out there, just saying. So yeah, it'll be a landslide. They all think, oh yeah, we're doing this, but I'm not even going to talk about it, because just wait till the new year. There's going to be a lot of people in chaos about it, but I just say, oh well. Yeah, he is treating it like a business, but he had to, because the people before were using it as a business for laundering money and all sorts, trafficking kids and all sorts. He's bringing it back to the original source of the soul of a business. We can have businesses, but make sure you're using it for the right reasons. Those people before weren't. Not all of them, but president before that and that and that. Well, no, they weren't depleting the military and all. Yeah, we know what you were doing. Even in the UK, we know what you were doing. And this is a worldwide thing as well. Just saying, some people might get triggered, but when you start looking with different perceptions on things and start digging, you start seeing. So I'm saying, not going to get too much into the 3D. That's why I think I'm going to have a channel for the not the muggles, but Muggle Mondays, I think I'm going to do. And something like I used to do before, High Vibing Fridays or something. It's just going to be the two sides, because I still actually reside on Earth, so do you know what I'm saying? So well, I wouldn't really say he was good, because there's a lot of subs out there weren't taking away the death penalty, because the reason why they wanted to take the death penalty away was for the people that are going to get done for treason. So yeah. Anyway, less about that, and I'll see you soon. So have a brilliant morning, evening, afternoon, night, or whatever it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you soon. Just heard some news on the Mexican. Well, yeah, you've got to be careful, because some people out there that you think are all nicey. It's the other way around. Like, a lot of people think Trump's bad, but really the flip side of it is he's not. And then some people, celebrities, some of them, not all of them, that you think are really good, you're going to be really shocked in 2020. So you better get your and they live goggles out, because yeah, 2020 vision. See you later. Bye.